Trinisphere, where Timmy's, Johnny's, and Spike's battle for all things EDH. Here with your host, Miss Triggers Juan the Timmy. I'm going to be bringing you an Ulrich the Gruul Politics Gruul control deck. Oh baby, it's going to be a show. But first, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on any new Trinisphere content. Now onto the deck tag. Ulrich of Gruul is a 5-mana 4/4 that when it ETBs gives +4/+4 to any target creature. And has, at the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells are cast last turn, transform Ulrich of Gruul. On the flip side of this card is Ulrich Uncontested Alpha, and whenever this creature transforms, it may fight target non-werewolf creature you don't control. And to flip it back, it says at the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells last turn, transform Ulrich Uncontested Alpha. Alright guys, so the plan of the deck is going to be coercing our opponents into flipping Ulrich Uncontested Alpha for us, however that may be. Them casting 2 spells, passing their turn, and we'll be like, we'll help you. Or, you know, doing what Gruul does best and threatening their stuff with our spells. Preferably the removal spells. And then to win the game, we're going to cast big CMC spells and beat our opponents to death. You know, the Gruul special. But to cast big CMC spells, we're going to need a ramp. And most of our ramp is going to be focused into the 2 slot that ramps into the 4 slot, so we'll at least have hopefully 7 mana by turn 4, and then we can start doing lots of good fun things, and by fun things I mean destroying our opponent's boards and not really feeling bad about it. But remember, we're doing it politically, so loose phrases and no yes or no answers. Alright, so our ramp package is going to be Soul Ring, Wayfarer's Bauble, Mind Stone for late game when we need to draw a card, Sakura Tribe Elder, Farseek, Rampant Growth, Explore, Harrow. Hopefully we can do this on our opponent's turn, and then with that 2 extra mana, because the lands come into play untapped from Harrow, we can just cast an instant spell, allowing us to flip our Ulrich Uncontested Alpha back and buffing a creature possibly. Explosive Vegetations, Frontier Siege in cons mode, because we don't have any flying creatures in this deck, except for 1. So any flying creatures in this deck. Circuitous Route, Sky Shroud Claim, Ranger's Path, and a favorite at the moment for me, Escape to the Wilds from Thorn of Eldraine, which allows you to exile the top 5 cards of your library, play an extra land for that turn, and you can cast those cards until your next turn. Unfortunately, there's going to be times when we have too much mana, and with that mana, we're going to end up drawing cards to just get ourselves back into the game. We're going to be playing Bag of Holding, and 1 mana, whenever you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard, 2 tap, draw a card, then discard a card, 4 tap, sacrifice Bag of Holding, return all cards exiled with Bag of Holding to their owner's hand. Faithless Looting, draw 2, discard 2, flashback 3, Cathartic Reunion, discard 2 cards, draw 3 cards, and those 2 cards we discarded, hopefully Bag of Holding will be out and we could just pop them under there. Tormenting Voice also, Elvish Visionary, draw a card, gets you a body. Wall of Blossoms, draw a card, gets you a body. Tireless Tracker, good old 3 mana that really feels like a 4 mana, 3/2. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, investigate. Put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield. 2, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a +1/+1 counter. So we'll have something to do whenever we pass the turn to help flip Ulrich and feel like we didn't do anything with it. Then good old 4 mana, draw 3 cards, Harmonize. And now on to that good old Gruul removal. We're going to be playing Ancient Grudge, 2 mana instant, destroy target artifact with flashback for 1 green. With this card, you can flip Ulrich on your opponent's turn if they happen to not cast the 2 spells, and you really needed it to happen. Hull Breach, destroy target artifact and or enchantment. Destructive Revelry, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Destructive Revelry deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller. Naturalize, Ancient Animus, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control if it's legendary, then if it fights target creature you don't control. Pillage, destroy target artifact or land. Beast Within, destroy target permanent. Decimate, destroy target artifact, creature, enchantment, and land. So for that good old #04 targets, this is how you make enemies, allies, and just ruin somebody's day. Chain Reaction, deal X damage to each creature where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. Chandra's Ignition, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent. Star of Extinction, destroy target land. Star of Extinction deals 20 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Karn Liberated, target player exiles a card from his or her hand on the +4. Neg 3, exile target permanent. Neg 14, restart the game, leaving exile all non-or permanent cards exiled with Karn Liberated. Then put those cards into the battlefield under your control. Volcanic Visions for the board wipe that gets you back a permanent. Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Volcanic Visions deals damage equal to that card's CMC cost to each creature your opponent's control. Exile Volcanic Vision. Azuri's Predation, 8 mana. For each creature your opponents control, put a 4/4 green beast creature token onto the battlefield. Each of those beasts fights a different one of those creatures. Blasphemous Act. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Blasphemous Act deals 13 damage to each creature. And then onto a few X spells. Savage Twister. Savage Twister deals X damage to each creature. Heaven and Earth. Heaven deals X damage to each creature with flying. It's an instant. And then Sorcery Aftermath. Cast this spell only from your graveyard, then exile it. Earth deals X damage to each creature without flying. Earthquake, deal X damage to each creature without flying and each player. And Clan Defiance, choose one or more. Clan Defiance deals X damage to target creature with flying, target creature without flying, and or target player. Now on to utility. 2. Tap. Copy target triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. A triggered ability uses the words when, whenever, or at. So that means whenever Crawling Horde flips, we can copy that ability. Or whatever other card has a when, whenever, or at on it. Thematic Compass. 3 mana tap, search your library for a land card you can put into your hand. And then when you have 7 or more lands at your end step, you may flip Thematic Compass and it becomes a Maze of Ith, which can remove a creature from combat. Sylvan Scrying to help us find some utility lands I'll talk about in a few. Dualcaster Mage. Flash. Whenever it ETBs, you may copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. One of my personal favorite cards, Wild Ricochet. You may choose new targets for target instant or sorcery spell, then copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy spell. But best of all, the flavor text. May your day never match your expectations. Blow all those dirty blue players with your own personal counterspell and or bounce spell and or, you get the point. I find it hilarious. Disrupt Decorum, go to all creatures you don't control. Until your next turn, those creatures attack each combat if able and attack a player other than you if able. Dinner and politics don't mix. Primal Command, choose 2, target player gains 7 life, put target non-creature permanent on top of its owner's library. Target player shuffles his or her graveyard into his or her library. Search your library for a creature card, reveal it and put it to your hand, then shuffle your library. Dictate of the Twin Gods, has Flash. If a sorcerer deals damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead. Primeval Bounty. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a 3/3 green beast creature token onto the battlefield. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put up 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. And whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 3 life. This really good utility card keeps you alive, makes you bodies, also pumps your commander or whatever else you want to pump. Sandworm Convergence. Enchantment. Creatures with flying can attack you or planeswalkers you control. At the beginning of your end step, create a 5/5 green worm creature token. For those long con games where you just gotta slowly beat them down with worms. Praetor's Council. Return all cards from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Praetor's Council. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. And last but not least, Reap the Past. Return X cards at random from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Reap the Past. It doesn't matter if it's random, if you pay all the mana into it to pick up every card out of your graveyard. And on to the last section, beating them down. Rite of the Raging Storm. Creatures named Lightning Rager can attack you or planeswalkers you control. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player puts a 5/1 red elemental creature token named Lightning Rager onto the battlefield. It has Trample, Haste, and at the beginning of each end step, sacrifice this creature. Kazul Tyrant of the Cliffs. Whenever a creature an opponent controls attacks, if you are the defending player, create a 3/3 red ogre creature token unless that creature's controller pays 3. Garruk Primal Hunter. +1, put a 3/3 green beast creature token onto the battlefield. Neg 3, draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Neg 6, put a 6/6 green worm creature token onto the battlefield for each land you control. Multani Yavimaya Avatar, which will probably be our main win con considering he's so resilient except to a path to exile, but nothing really is. He's a 6 mana reach trample. Multani Yavimaya Avatar gets +1/+1 for each land you control and each land card in your graveyard. 1 generic green, return 2 lands you control to their owner's hand. Return Multani from your graveyard to your hand. Sandra Flamecaller, +1, put 2 3/1 elemental creature tokens with haste onto the battlefield, exile them at the beginning of your next end step. 0, discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. Next X. Chandra the Flamecaller deals 4 damage to each creature. Inferno Titan. 1 red, Inferno Titan gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Who cares? What's important is whenever Inferno Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 3 damage, divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures and or players. Combustible Gearhulk, first strike. When Combustible Gearhulk enters the battlefield, target opponent may have you draw 3 cards. If that player doesn't, you can rip those cards right off the top, put them in your graveyard, and bolt his face in for however much the CMC of those total cards was. And Dragon Mage, flying. Whenever Dragon Mage deals combat damage to a player, each player discards his or her hand and draws 7 cards. This can be used as a political move to, let's say, help our opponent who has no cards in hand refuel and make our other 2 opponents discard all the cards in their hand and gain some favor while also not bringing too much heat because everybody drew cards, you know. Everybody loves drawing cards. And now on to the lands that'll get a mention on this list. Maze of Ith. Tap, untap target attacking creature, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you and dealt by that creature this turn. Kessing Wolf Run. Tap, add 1 to your mana pool. X red green tap. Target creature gets +X/+0 and gains trample to end the turn. The ultimate Gruul Politics card. And Archer Rorazaka. Ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing for the rest of the game. Add a Wingding to your mana pool. 5-tap, draw a card. Activate this ability only if you have the City's Blessing. Alright guys, thank you for joining me with this deck tech by Timmy. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on any new Trinisphere content. And if you feel like picking up any new cards or this deck list, you can go down below to use the affiliate link from TCG Player to help support the show. It allows me to make more budget decks, helps with Hogg's rock addiction, and makes Shannon's life just a little bit easier in the editing closet we keep him locked in. And remember guys, it's all about sending a message. Like making non-lethal damage lethal with the dictate of the Twin Gods because they decided not to help you when you need it. #Gruul Politics.